Yep, welcome everybody. Today we'll be animating a simple character on Moho Studio and we'll be animating on pose to pose using the animation principle pose to pose. I guess if you're familiar with that, you will know this is purely educational and for the beginners who do not understand how this works. And this is the kind of stuff you see in a tutorial, but I'm giving it out for free as usual. So do make sure you subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel and like and also share and invite a friend. Go ahead and do that. And let's get it started. So, with no further ado, this is my character. It's not a perfect character anyway. It was rigged some time back, and it was basically rigged for front view type of animation, not full side view. And you could see the legs are not perfect, and but I mean, you can do whatever you want to do, how you want to do it, when you want to do it, as long as you understand how to just, create certain poses and create your animation. On Moho Studio, I think I prefer pose to pose. I usually animate follow through, but I think pose to pose is it's a very good way to, make your animation easy for you. So this is the audio we'll be animating with. What do you mean I don't know what I'm doing? I've been doing this for a year plus now. And should I be able to make mistakes? I should. What? So what you will do, the first thing you should do. Yes, the first thing you should do is you pick points in the audio where you animate certain poses. Then we will go back and fill those poses with breakdowns, and your animation is done. It's actually much faster if you understand how this works, and you can use your step or you use your smooth to make this easier for you. So we'll listen to the audio again and pick and create our poses, and you can also go ahead and draw your poses on paper or on screen if you have a drawing pad and pen. But I'm going to be doing this off the top of my head because I don't want this video to be so long, at most 10 minutes or 10 minutes plus. Let's go. So we listen to the audio. What do you mean I don't know what I'm doing? Now that is one phrase. We are going to pick them phrase by phrase. That is one phrase. So we'll have one pose for that. I've been doing this for a year plus now. And that's another phrase. So we can choose from this point to this point, that's from 1 to 90 or 0 to 90 rather, as one phrase, or we'll pick from 0 to 48 as one phrase, then 48 to 90 as another phrase. So, but let's make it much more larger. It all depends on what you want to animate and how you want the character to, look, feel, and want the animation to be like at the end of the day. So for this one, at this point, we'll be animating on twos. And what I mean by that is that we'll go two frames, and animate. But if it's not choppy enough, if it's not fast enough, and if it's not looking good, we can also compress to once. So we actually could do this in Moho Studio. So let's see. And also, in case you are a super professional animator and if you see what I'm doing and want to criticize it, please be fair and criticize as best as you could. I appreciate good criticism. I am always willing to learn. So let's go. So from here, he said, what do you mean I don't know what I'm doing? So, what do you mean I don't know what I'm doing? So, probably what I will do here is, what do you mean? So, for the first phrase, I think the action should start at frame 6. So, I'll turn the body a bit and Control Z to undo that and raise the hand up like this. Probably bring the head down. So this is going to be like our first pose. I'll have to turn this hand, but let's just get the pose first initially. Then what I will do here is I will freeze this pose by making it a step. So what we'll have is this. What do you mean? So okay, I'll have to step the first frame also. So we'll have just, because what we want to do is just have the poses and that's all. What do you mean I don't know? All right. So what do you mean I don't know what I'm doing? I've been doing this for a year plus now. So if I want, I could add another keyframe here to make a second pose. So I will Control F to add a new keyframe. I've been doing this for a year. So I've been doing this for a year plus now. So maybe at frame 60, I will bring. So what I will do here is, let me delete this real quickly because I want all the poses that I put here to be stepped in. So I will put our keyframe to step here instead of smooth. So when I hit Control F, you could see the step is here. So from
What do
this
you mean I
point,
don't know what I'm doing? I've been doing
it
this.
doesn't move. And when I get to frame 60, I will bring the hand down, and you could see we are still on a stepping frame. Then maybe bend him a bit, because usually standing straight in animation is usually not so much fun. So it doesn't look too girly. So um, we're kind of limited with the rig anyways, but we can still do whatever we want to do. Also take note, from the first frame we could see that he's just
We
standing straight, but actually we don't really want him to just stand straight per se, because we are trying to create an amazing animation. So maybe we will just bend him a bit, which is one of the things that was taught in the principles of animation. You don't want your character to always just stand straight. You want to be able to make your character, bend a bit to give it weight and realistic, look and feel. That is why you see when you watch those gaming characters, there's where they stand, and they keep moving in a certain way to give this, realistic feel to it. I hope you understand. So we'll have him like this, standing in a swaggish, having an attitude and stuff. So you could see now it's like he has some weight to him. Bend his leg a little bit. And yeah. So this could be our first pose.
what
So
do you
when
mean?
he raises his hand up like this. So when we start fixing that, we will,
Do you mean I
edit
don't know
and
what
so
I'm
on
doing?
and so forth.
I've been doing this. I've been doing this for.
So now this frame now is what is changing here. So we don't want it to change. So we'll probably copy this and paste it here. Or I'll add frame F, Control F rather, then copy this whole frame and paste it here. So we'll have this.
What do you mean I don't know what I'm doing? I've been doing this for a year plus now.
So
I've been doing this for.
I've been doing this for a year plus now. Then I'll shift this right here.
I've been doing this for a year plus now.
Then when he said I've been doing this for a year plus now, you want to make sure that you hit the word, so that the action will change instantly when he speaks. So I will turn the head to the left a little bit and make it switch. Then probably, since we have all the bone actions here, I will move the eye so that he is still looking at the camera. So I can do that at the same time. But if you
I've been
don't have it,
doing.
you have to do it when you come back to do your edit.
What do you mean I don't know what I'm doing? I've been doing this for.
So
I've been doing this for.
you could see how there's a little bit of delay when it says I've been doing this for a year plus now. So this action, this second action here, is not supposed to be so much of a big action like
I've been
I
doing.
made it to be. So let me delete this point here. So
I've been.
at this point, I will just, maybe drop the hand down a little bit. Then maybe just switch it. So we'll have,
I've been doing this for a year plus
all right. So, and the third one, we'll just do this third one, then we'll go back and do the breakdowns, and you'll see how the animation looks.
now.
Then I will hit Control F at this point to put my initial
And
keyframe.
should I be able to make mistakes?
And should I be able to make mistakes? And we will now, maybe turn the body this other way. The keyframe is supposed to be somewhere here.
And should I be able?
So,
And should,
we have,
and should I be?
and should I be able to make mistakes? So you want to make sure you hit that, and should I be able to make mistakes when the action switches. So we'll have our action starts from around here.
And should I be able to?
All right. So you take the act, you make sure that your actions are acting out the phrases and it starts properly. And you could also add more poses if you want, but this is just for tutorial purposes and I'm trying to be as fast as possible as I can, and I hope you understand what I'm trying to dish out. So, and so right here we're applying the principles of animation to make it easier for us to understand. So let's say we have three poses already. So we have this.
What do you mean I don't know what I'm doing?
So you could see, what do you mean what I don't know what I'm doing? There's a little bit of delay there. So let's bring it a little bit close.
What do you mean I don't know
All
what
right.
I'm doing? I've been doing this for a year plus now, and should I be able to make mistakes?
All right. So now you see these poses that you have. It's now easier for you to now go back here and make edits to your animation. There are different ways to animate anyways, but this is one other way to animate pose to pose in Moho Studio. And you can go ahead and use steps if you want, or you make your animation smooth and still do the same process. But you always want to make sure that you add these
I don't know what I'm
keyframes
doing.
in between them to make sure that your animation is not swimming all around. So now the next thing for you to do is you will turn all this step animation to smooth animation. And how would you do that? Let's start with the first. Let's focus on the first phrase that.
What do you mean I don't know what I'm
So what we'll do is that we'll turn this one, everything here, to smooth animation. We'll just smoothen it out with our interpolation.
What do you mean I
So you could see now,
What do you mean I don't
you could see from here now, it's not jumping, it's
What do you
actually
mean
moving. There are a lot of breakdowns. If I take it frame by frame,
what,
all right. So what we'll do here is, at this point, can I zoom out? Let me zoom out a little bit. All right. So at this point, so you see exactly what I'm doing. We will now have to add an anticipation before the action takes place. So we can add an anticipation on once, but let's make it two frames before we add an anticipation. So you could see he's bent to this side. So for him to move, let's bend him to this other side real quickly, just a little bit. Control Z. We will hit the body, then we'll switch him there. So when he
what
moves,
do you mean I
so he has this little bit of jerk to make that action, and it's actually big
what,
regardless. So let me shift it to the middle a little bit. I guess it's a little bit too much. So,
what do you mean I don't
and you could see that it stepped out, so we want it to be smooth also. So we'll have,
What do you mean I don't
and at this point we could now add our um squash and stretch to the character. So we can squash him a little bit at this point. So he goes down before he comes up. So let's smoothen that out. So, and also to make it easier for us so that we don't keep switching to steps, because now we are putting our edits and adding our breakdowns, we'll have to now bring our steps to smooth so that whatever keyframe we add will always be smooth. Okay.
What do you mean I don't
So we have,
What do you mean I What do you mean
so we could also shift this a little bit if that doesn't look proper.
What do you mean I
All
don't
right, so I think
What
that is good. Then if you look at the hand now, so we want the hand to actually move, not just move smoothly to the top like that. So at this point, he opens his arm, then it gets bent at this point. So we will bend it here, maybe probably bring it a little bit close so that when it gets up, there's this swift action to show that, he's actually angry with what he's saying, so that it gets to the audience. So we have,
What do you mean I don't
all right.
What do you
So
mean
you can see now there's more jerk to it. And when he
what
ends here, what we'll do is now add a little bit of animation to, what's the word? I'm forgetting this word. Please forgive me. And so that we have this animation where he relaxes. Then we'll copy this frame to end it. So we have something like this.
What do you mean I don't
So now we'll remove the smooth on this one. We'll remove the step rather on this one. We'll make it smooth. Then let's see.
What do you mean I don't know
All right. So we'll smoothen this out so that we don't have this, steady jerk.
What do you mean I don't know
Then let's make this frame, let's bring it closer here because
What do you mean I don't know
yes, so it doesn't look too robotic.
What do you mean I don't?
All right, so let's add a little bit of space here.
What do you mean I don't know?
So now, if you notice, now let's go to the breakdowns. The hand, as it moves up to this point, at this point, we can, since the hand is going up, we can bend it so that there's a swing to the wrist. So,
What
and when it gets to this point, we'll now turn the wrist to the top, then
do you?
it comes back. So we have,
What do you mean I don't know?
yep.
What do you mean I don't?
So that he's speaking, and you can see the action
What do you mean I don't?
is looking very good.
What, what do you?
And at this point, you can still go ahead and look at the head
What,
and see if the head is
what,
actually
what?
doing what you want it to do. So maybe at this point, at frame 5, we will now switch the head, just rotate it a little bit to the side. Also, always consider the neck. So we have,
What do you mean I don't know what?
yep. So
What do you mean I don't know
so
what?
there's an attitude to it. So now,
What do
while the hand
what?
opens, I think I created a switch layer for the arms. Yes, okay, yeah, we can do that. So while the hand swings up like this, so at this point we'll switch the arms to face the top. So let's see. I have open side. Aha. Then I will switch this to open side 2. And when we go back to our main character, we'll have this.
What do you mean I don't know what I'm
All right, so you can see the animation looks much more better. And this is how you do pose to pose. Then at
doing?
this point, I will add another keyframe, Control F, and I will step that keyframe to stop any other motion from happening just in case. So we are finished with one.
What do you mean I don't know what I'm doing?
So then we'll go to frame the next action. So
I've been doing this.
this next action is really quite simple, so we don't have to spend so much time here. So what I will do is that I will shift this to this side. I'll add a new keyframe so that we'll have our smooth animation. Then I will smoothen this out also. So we have this.
I've been doing this.
So I've been doing this. Then what we'll just do now, we can just go ahead and add a little bit of anticipation before the action.
I've been doing this. I've been doing this.
So we'll add a little bit more.
I've been doing this for.
So
I've been doing.
and we can space it out if the action is maybe too close, because I don't want it to be on ones. I want it to be a little bit smooth.
I've been doing this for.
All right. So and you can also add your um, squash here.
I've been.
Then you stretch it up a bit back.
I've been doing this for. I've been doing this.
So while he moves to this point, we can also consider the head also if we want. It's all about consideration. Then we bring it back.
I've been doing this for. I've been doing this.
So now you could see the
I've
head
been
is
doing
dragging
this.
is because initially we did not add an head pose when we added the pose to it, but that is no problem. No need to worry. We can fix that because we have a step here, and all we have to do is create a step here, or copy the frames here of the head and add it to this one, and we'll be okay.
I've been doing this for. Yeah.
So let's see.
I've been doing this for. I've
And we can now add still the same thing to the end if we want, or we just want it to stop at this point because
I've
then we can add this to the end and just move the hand up a little bit, just a little, considering always making sure that your breakdowns comes out properly and there is an arc to it. So this is our last pose. Then we can now add, repeat this frame here, copy this and paste here. Then we'll have this.
I've been doing this for. I've been doing this for.
Now, this is your choice. Actually, you can do it if you want, but if you don't have to. It's all about how the animation looks and how fun it looks.
I've been doing this for. I've been doing this for. Yeah. I've been doing.
So I think this is okay. So at this point, I will hit Control F and I'll copy all this frame here, Control C, and I will jump to maybe 2 frames forward. Then I'll hit Control F again. Why? Because I want to stop this frame from moving. Then I'll step it here. Control Z, sorry. I want to step this other frame here. Then I can copy this step if I want.
Doing this for a year
You
plus.
could see now it's no more moving, or but if it when it's smoothing out like this, the head
Doing
frame
this
will
for
be
a year
dragging
plus.
also. So I will just step it and stop that from moving. This is one of the easiest way to do it.
I've been doing this for a year plus
So and
now. And should I be able? And should I be able to?
so
And should I be able to?
so now we'll come to this point here. What I will do, as I did before, I will drag this back a little bit. Then I'll add a new keyframe.
And should I be able to make mistakes?
Then you could see the
And should I
action
be able?
moving, working properly as it's supposed to instead of just jumping. So what I will do is I will smoothen this out also. And just like we did in the former frames, that this will make this action add a little bit of anticipation. Since he's turning this way at 90, I will make him bend not so much.
And should I? And should I?
So then maybe at frame 92, I may squash it a bit if it looks good. Then stretch it at
And should I be able?
so
And should I be?
so you could see how swift that is.
And should I be able?
Then we'll also consider the breakdowns of the hand, which kind of looks okay already because Moho Studio did a great job. So I may just add a little bit of animation to that to make it jerk a little bit.
And should I be?
So you could see how
And should I be?
how it
And should I?
the hand also anticipates. So I could also anticipate this hand much more forward here.
And should I?
So we have this.
And should I be?
So that the reason you do that in because in the principle of animation, your character must not move. The body parts should not always move at the same time. It gives it this robotic feel. But if you want a much more dynamic, animating character or animation, you make sure that the body parts they move at intervals within time so that you have something more dynamic, something like this.
And should I be able?
Like this is not super perfect, but this will give you a good understanding of what I'm trying to explain. And the reason why I'm doing this is that this is possible in Moho Studio because most people always think that you only do this in traditional animation, but you can do this very well in Moho Studio. And Moho Studio makes it very easy because it always try to create amazing breakdowns for you. If you watch my last video, which was yesterday, you would see how I explained that using a Moho Studio character. And if you are satisfied with this, you go ahead to a further frame forward, then you hit Control F, and as usual, you step it and you continue your animation. So we are going to stop at 144, and yeah, that's all. In a space of 20 minutes, we are done with first frame of animation using pose to pose. So let's watch and see what we got. So Control D, no, Control J rather, so that we put him in frame. So when you hit Control J, you get this black screen and everything looks really really nice. So let me add a background to make this much more beautiful. A simple background anyway, nothing so complex. So I'll just go to my styles and hit my color. Let's pick blue since he's wearing yellow so that we can see him properly. And yeah, blue it is. All right, so this is our animation, and let's watch this.
What do you mean I don't know what I'm doing? I've been doing this for a year plus now. And should I be able to make mistakes?
And yeah, you could go ahead and change the hand if you want. You get the idea anyway. So maybe we should just
I've
do
been
that real
doing
quickly.
this for a year plus now.
So you could see how he anticipates before he turns. So at this point, we will switch. the hand, no, the right hand. Let's turn it to open side. Good. So this is how you do pose to pose
What do
animation.
you mean I don't know what I'm doing? I've been doing this for a year plus now. And should I be able to make mistakes?
So I hope this is helpful. Then you go ahead and create your mouth animation if your character has a mouth animation anyway. But this, I hope it's helpful. Let me know in the comments below if this is how you animate, and make sure you like, subscribe. Please do subscribe. Majority of you are just watching this video and you are not subscribed. Be kind, be helpful. Please subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. I would not just see you in the next video. I want you to check out the next video because I'll be teaching something very awesome and it will be very helpful. Catch ya. Peace and have a lovely day ahead. And know this, just in case you are going through a lot at the moment, 2025 is going to be a really, 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 really good year. I believe it, and I believe it for myself, and I believe it for you. And if you are on my channel, I so much believe it for all of us. So let's make it great. Keep creating and stay blessed.